Good morning. So today's gospel reading and first reading took me a while to really kind of digest as I was sitting there. And the first reading really spoke to me as we are looking at wicked men. What are these wicked men? You know, when I think of a really wicked men, I think of two different scenarios. I don't remember if anybody remembers the movie Schindler's List. And you had the commandant of the concentration camp. And Schindler actually talks him into showing mercy to people. But he takes that mercy and actually perverts it itself, that he uses it against people. That instead of giving them pardon, he's more looking down on them, thinking that he is the God above these people. And how that is so wrong, and that is just a show of wickedness. Now, do I really think that Amon Goth was really that wicked, or was he just blinded by the wickedness all around him? Because he was still human. He still had humanity to him. He was still made in the likeness of God. And then in a worse place, in Auschwitz, there was prisoner 16670. And his crime was that he was a Catholic priest. And as they had an escape inside the prison, the commandant comes out and is going to take 10 people and put them to death to pay for this one prisoner escaping. So he picks out 10 different Jewish men, and this prisoner steps forward and says, "Take me instead, for I'm a Catholic priest." He is led down to a pit where he's going to be starved until he dies with these other men. Now, because the Lord, as we heard inside our psalm, is always close to the brokenhearted, these men actually converted, we think, to Catholicism. We're not 100% sure, but they were singing Marian songs all the way up until they died. This man would not die. He drove his guards so crazy after 2 weeks of seeing him on his knees praying to God and with a smile on his face, they gave him a lethal injection and killed him. This was, of course, St. Maximilian Kolbe. Now, why am I bringing all these stories together? I think this comes together at the end of our gospel reading when they say, "So they tried to arrest him, but no one laid a hand upon him because his hour had not come." We can find such great comfort in knowing that God's plan always happens, no matter the wickedness of this world, about how far ahead or how crazy we are. God's plan always comes about, and we can find trust and relief in that if we trust in God, no matter how bad it seems, it is always going to work out. Like the way it worked out when Christ himself in the Garden of Gethsemane was yelling and screaming to God, "Take this away from me," but knowing and trusting in God that his plan could always come about and bring good, that he said, "Let your will be done." And as we can open up our hearts to trust in the Lord more and more and say to him, "Let your will be done," everything will work out and we don't have to worry and be anxious about anything.